Hello everyone, and welcome back to Cowboys and Cattle. In our last episode, Amy spent sleepless nights consumed by Caleb's challenge about Nathan always being the common factor. When people end up looking guilty, she questioned everything. Lou's warnings she dismissed, Nathan's vague work explanations, his controlling behavior. Meanwhile in New York, Lou returned to the FBI and learned horrifying details about the council not just smuggling but human trafficking, drug dealing, fraud. The FBI revealed they believe the council operates a facility holding potentially hundreds of prisoners but haven't located it yet. Back at Heartland, when Lindy came home, she made a devastating revelation to Amy. She doesn't like Nathan because he pretends to like her when Amy watches, but looks at her with hatred when she's not looking. Amy was horrified, realizing her daughter has been seeing Nathan's true face all along. The episode ended with Amy holding Lindy, finally understanding that everyone's warnings were right and she's put her daughter in danger. If you've been emotionally invested in this journey, please hit that like button and subscribe. Today's episode shows Amy trying to navigate the terrifying reality of living with Nathan while suspecting who he really is. She attempts to reach out to the people she pushed away, desperate for help, but not knowing they're already watching over her. Meanwhile, Lou in New York receives news from the FBI that could be the breakthrough they've been waiting for, but it comes with extreme danger. This is episode 44. And Lou Fleming is about to risk everything to protect her sister and expose the council once and for all. Heartland Ranch as Amy stood at the kitchen counter making breakfast, hyper-aware of Nathan's presence at the table behind her. 3 days had passed since Lindy's revelation, and Amy had been walking on eggshells ever since, trying to act completely normal while her mind screamed with fear and doubt. Nathan scrolled through his phone, drinking coffee, seemingly oblivious to Amy's internal turmoil. Or was he oblivious? Amy kept wondering if he could sense the change in her, if he noticed she was pulling away emotionally even while maintaining the facade of their relationship.
You're quiet this morning. Is everything okay?
The question made Amy's heart skip. Was he suspicious? Or just making normal conversation?
Just thinking about ranch work. Lots to do today.
Want help with anything?
No, I've got it. You mentioned you have work calls this morning anyway.
She kept her tone casual, giving Nathan an out so she could have space without it seeming like she was avoiding him. Nathan nodded, accepting the explanation easily.
True. A conference call at 9. Should take most of the morning.
He finished his coffee and headed upstairs to his makeshift office in the guest room. Amy watched him go, then immediately pulled out her phone with shaking hands. She'd been trying to contact Ashley and Caleb for 3 days with no success. Call after call went to voicemail. Text messages went unanswered. Amy was starting to panic. She'd pushed them away so thoroughly, banned them from Heartland, called them thieves. Of course, they weren't responding. They were probably done with her completely. But Amy was desperate. She needed to talk to someone who understood what Nathan was, who'd tried to warn her. She needed help figuring out what to do next. She dialed Ashley's number again. It rang and rang, then went to voicemail.
Ashley, it's Amy again. Please call me back. I know I said terrible things. I know I banned you from Heartland, but I need to talk to you. You were right about Nathan. You and Caleb were right about everything. Please, if you get this, call me.
She hung up, feeling tears of frustration and fear forming. She was alone in this. Nathan was upstairs. Lindy was at school. And Amy had no one to turn to because she'd driven everyone away. What Amy didn't know was that Ashley and Caleb were very much paying attention to her well-being. They just couldn't risk direct contact with her while Nathan was monitoring everything. Approximately 3 weeks earlier, Ashley and Caleb sat in a back corner booth, talking in low voices about their latest surveillance of Nathan's activities. They were discussing deeply, without checking around much. I'm so worried about Amy. We can't get near her, can't warn her, can't do anything to help.
I know, but if we push, Nathan will use it against us. Make Amy think we're harassing her.
A young man in his late 20s approached their table hesitantly. He was tall, dark-haired, with an earnest expression that suggested he was gathering courage to interrupt. "Excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I overheard you mention Nathan." "Nathan Price?" Ashley and Caleb immediately went on alert. Who was this stranger? How much had he heard? Was he one of Nathan's associates?
Who are you?
"My name is Dex. I live in the Heartland loft. I saw you two talk to Amy a few days ago. What were you guys talking about?" Ashley and Caleb exchanged alarmed glances. This could be a trap. Nathan could have sent someone to test them, to gather information about what they knew. "I don't know what you're talking about. We're not talking about anyone. It's okay. I understand you're scared. But I promise, I'm not working with Nathan. I hate that guy. I work with Katie Fleming, Lou's daughter. We've been investigating Nathan too. Katie and I have been watching him for months, trying to figure out what he's really up to."
Why should we believe you?
Lou was driven away from Heartland by Nathan months ago. Katie has been helping her mom investigate from the outside, and I've been helping Katie. We know Nathan is dangerous. We know he's hiding something big. Believe me, if you want to. The mention of Katie and Lou made Ashley pause. If this Dex person was really working with Katie, then he was an ally, not an enemy. How do we know you're telling the truth? Call Katie. She'll confirm everything. And I can tell you things about Nathan's movements that I've documented, places he goes, times he disappears, suspicious activities around the Price Ranch. Caleb pulled out his phone and found Katie's number through Amy's family contacts. He called, and Katie answered on the third ring.
Katie, this is Caleb Odell. I'm with Ashley. There's someone here named Dex who says he's been helping you investigate Nathan Price.
Yes, Dex has been helping me. He's completely trustworthy. Caleb felt relief wash through him. An ally. Another person working to expose Nathan. They spent the next 2 hours in that coffee shop, sharing information. Dex showed them documentation he'd gathered, photos of Nathan meeting with suspicious individuals, logs of his movements, observations about activities at locations connected to Nathan. Ashley and Caleb shared what they'd found about the smuggling operation and their work with the FBI. "We've been so worried about Amy. We can't get near her without making things worse. But we're terrified. Nathan might hurt her. That's why I'm here. Katie asked me to keep tabs on Amy and Lindy from a distance. Make sure they're safe. I've been watching the ranch, documenting when Nathan leaves, making sure nothing seems immediately dangerous."
So Amy's being protected without knowing it.
Exactly. She doesn't know we're watching. But we are. And if anything seems wrong, if Nathan's behavior escalates, or if Amy or Lindy seem to be in danger, we'll alert the FBI immediately. They've been working together ever since. 3 sets of eyes monitoring Nathan from different angles, all coordinated through encrypted communications, all focused on one goal: protecting Amy and gathering evidence to stop Nathan permanently. Present day Heartland Ranch. Amy didn't know that while she frantically tried to call Ashley and Caleb, Dex was watching the ranch. He saw Amy's truck in the driveway, Nathan's SUV, the normal morning routine playing out. His phone buzzed with a text from Ashley. Amy called again. 5th message in 3 days. She's asking for help. Says we were right about Nathan. She's finally seeing it. Should we respond? Not yet. If Nathan's monitoring her phone, contact from us could trigger him. Keep watching. Make sure she stays safe. On it. Dex settled in for another day of surveillance, watching and keeping tabs on Amy in secret. New York. Georgie's apartment. Evening. Lou helped Georgie pack the last of her bags for Miami. Georgie's Olympic training schedule had been adjusted, and she was heading to Florida for intensive preparation with her team. "Are you sure you'll be okay here without me? I know New York isn't really home for you."
I'll be fine. Katie's here, and I have work to do with the FBI. You focus on training and making Canada proud.
They hugged tightly at the door. Georgie had been Lou's anchor during these difficult times. The one person from her family who'd stayed with her unconditionally, who'd never questioned her concerns about Nathan. Be careful, Lou. Whatever you're doing with the FBI, please be careful.
I promise I'll be careful. Now go. You're going to be amazing.
After Georgie left, the apartment felt too quiet. Lou stood by the window looking out at the New York skyline, feeling the weight of everything pressing down on her. Her phone rang, Katie calling.
Hey, Katie.
Mom, I just got an update from Dex. Amy's been trying to call Ashley and Caleb repeatedly. She left messages saying they were right about Nathan, that she needs help. Lou's heart clenched. Amy was finally seeing the truth, finally understanding what Lou had been trying to tell her for months.
Is she safe? Is Lindy safe?
Dex says everything looks normal from the outside. No signs of immediate danger. But Amy sounds scared in the messages. Something changed. Something made her finally question Nathan.
We need to move faster. The FBI needs to arrest Nathan before Amy tries to confront him, or before Nathan realizes she's pulling away.
Dex is keeping close watch. If anything seems wrong, he'll alert everyone immediately. But Mom, you need to know, I'm worried about you too. Whatever you're planning with the FBI, it sounds dangerous.
How did you know I'm planning something?
Because I know you. You're not the kind of person who sits back and waits when people you love are in danger. What's going on? Lou hesitated, then decided Katie deserved honesty.
The FBI found something, a ranch connected to the council's operations. They're planning surveillance, and I volunteered to go undercover, to be part of the intelligence gathering.
Mom, no. That's too dangerous. These are the people trafficking humans and running international crime operations.
Which is exactly why I need to help stop them. Every day Nathan is free is another day. Amy and Lindy are in danger. If I can help the FBI gather the evidence they need to shut down the entire council operation, then Nathan gets arrested and Amy gets freed from him.
But if they discover you're FBI connected?
They won't. I'll just be another businesswoman in town, asking questions, observing. The FBI will have agents nearby. It's calculated risk.
There's no such thing as calculated risk with people this dangerous. Lou knew Katie was right, but she also knew she couldn't sit back and do nothing. Not when Amy needed her, even if Amy didn't know it yet. FBI New York. Field office. Next day. Lou sat in the familiar conference room with Agent Morrison and the investigation team. On the screen was a satellite image of a ranch in rural Montana near the Canadian border. After extensive investigation and analysis of financial records, shell company connections, and movement patterns, we've identified this property as being controlled by the council. It's registered under a false name through multiple layers of corporate ownership designed to hide the real operators. She zoomed in on the ranch, showing buildings, access roads, and surrounding terrain. This appears to be a legitimate working ranch, on the surface cattle, horses, agricultural operations. But we have intelligence suggesting it's also used as a waypoint for smuggling operations and potentially as a holding facility for certain
Assets meaning people? Prisoners?
possibly. We don't have confirmation yet, which is why we need eyes on the ground. We need someone who can get close to the operation, observe activities, gather intelligence without raising suspicion. We're planning to send an undercover agent posing as a businesswoman interested in investing in regional agricultural operations. Someone who has legitimate reason to visit multiple ranches in the area, including this one. Lou saw her opportunity and took it.
I want to be that person.
The agents exchanged glances. Agent Morrison shook her head. Miss Fleming, you're a civilian asset, not a trained agent. What we're proposing is dangerous undercover work.
I know the horse industry. I have experience with ranch operations through Heartland. And I have more motivation than any undercover agent you could send. My sister is living with a member of the council. Every piece of intelligence I gather brings you closer to arresting Nathan and freeing Amy.
The council is extremely dangerous. If they suspect you're gathering intelligence,
I understand the risks, but I'm asking you to let me help. I'm not suggesting I go in alone or without support, but I can be credible as a businesswoman investigating agricultural investments. It's exactly the kind of thing Lou Fleming would actually do.
the agents discussed amongst themselves in low voices. Finally, Agent Morrison turned back to Lou. And this is a big if. We agree to let you participate. You would have extensive training first. You'd be wired for communication, have FBI agents posing as your business associates, and maintain constant contact with surveillance teams. At the first sign of danger, we extract you immediately.
I understand.
You'd be going into council territory, to a ranch they own and operate. If they run even basic background checks and discover your connection to Amy Fleming, who's dating Nathan Price,
Then we create a cover identity that separates me from that connection. Change my last name for the cover. Create a business history that holds up under scrutiny. Give me a reason to be investigating ranches that has nothing to do with my actual family.
Agent Morrison studied Lou carefully. You're serious about this?
Completely serious. I've spent months being shut out, being painted as the villain, watching from a distance while my sister lives with a dangerous criminal. This is a chance to actually do something, to help stop the entire organization instead of just worrying helplessly. Please, let me help.
Another long silence, as the agents considered. Finally, Agent Morrison nodded. All right. We'll brief you on the operation, create your cover identity, and prepare you for the undercover work. But, Miss Fleming, Lou, you need to understand that once you're in the field, things can go wrong very quickly. We'll do everything we can to protect you, but there are no guarantees.
I know. I'm ready.
Lou sat with Katie in the small apartment, going over documents the FBI had provided. Her cover identity, business history, the cover story she'd need to maintain while undercover. I can't believe they agreed to let you do this. Mom, this is insane.
This is necessary. Katie, the FBI showed me maps of the area where they think the council's main trafficking facility is located. Hundreds of miles of remote terrain, dozens of potential locations. Without better intelligence, they could search for years. But if I can get inside one of their operations, gather information about the organization's structure and activities, it could lead to finding that facility and freeing all those prisoners.
Or it could lead to you becoming one of those prisoners. The words hung heavy in the air. Lou knew Katie was right to be scared. The council disappeared. People who knew too much, if they discovered Lou was FBI connected, investigating their operations, she could vanish just like the hundreds of victims they'd already trafficked.
Dex is still watching Amy?
Every day, he reports that Nathan seems normal, going to Heartland, helping with ranch work, maintaining his boyfriend routine. But Amy looks stressed, scared even. Dex thinks she's figured out something is wrong but doesn't know what to do about it.
She's alone and terrified, and it's my job to fix it, to protect her the way I should have been able to protect her months ago.
You tried to protect her. Nathan outmaneuvered you.
Which is why I need to do this now. Nathan thinks he's safe, thinks he's won. But he hasn't. We're all still fighting, me, you, Dex, Ashley, Caleb, the FBI. We're all working to stop him, and this undercover mission could be the breakthrough we need.
Katie hugged her mother tightly. When do you leave?
3 days. The FBI is doing final preparation on my cover identity and coordinating with the surveillance teams who'll be in the area. I'll fly to Montana, establish my business cover in the nearby town, and start making contact with ranches in the region, including the council's property.
3 days. That's so soon.
It has to be. Every day we wait is another day Amy's in danger. Another day the council is trafficking people and destroying lives.
They sat together in the quiet apartment, both thinking about what was coming. Lou would be going into enemy territory, surrounded by dangerous criminals, with only her wits and FBI backup to protect her. One mistake, one slip in her cover story, one moment of suspicion from the wrong person, and everything could go catastrophically wrong. But Lou was determined. She'd spent months feeling helpless, painted as the villain, separated from her sister. This was her chance to actually do something meaningful, to help stop the organization that had put Nathan in Amy's life, to gather evidence that would free not just Amy, but potentially hundreds of innocent victims. The risk was enormous, but so was the potential reward. FBI, New York. Field office 2 days later. Lou stood in a room at the FBI office reviewing her cover identity one more time. She was no longer Lou Fleming. She was Louise Parker, an investment consultant specializing in agricultural operations. Her business cards were printed. Her cover company's website was live. Her entire fabricated professional history was documented and ready to withstand background checks. Agent Morrison went through the final briefing. You'll fly to Missoula, Montana tomorrow morning. From there, you'll drive to the town of Elkridge, population 1,500, about 30 miles from the ranch we're targeting. You'll check into the local hotel under your cover name. Establish yourself as a businesswoman investigating potential investment opportunities.
And the ranch?
Operates under the name Silver Creek Ranch. On paper, it's owned by a corporation called Mountain West Agricultural Holdings, which is actually a shell company controlled by the council. The ranch manager is a man named Robert Hayes. We believe he's a council member, but we haven't been able to prove it definitively. She pulled up a photo of a man in his 50s, weathered face, cold eyes. Hayes is dangerous. He's suspected of being involved in multiple council operations. If he becomes suspicious of you for any reason, you abort immediately. Do not try to gather more information. Do not push. Just get out.
Understood.
We'll have agents in Elkridge posing as your business associates. You'll have emergency contacts if anything goes wrong. And you'll be wearing a wire at all times so we can monitor your safety. Agent Williams handed Lou a small device, barely larger than a button, nearly invisible once activated. This is your communication device. It's always on when you're in the field. We'll hear everything. If you say the phrase, "I need to reconsider my timeline," that's your distress signal. We'll come get you immediately.
I need to reconsider my timeline. Got it.
Lou, I want to emphasize one more time. This is dangerous. The council has killed people for knowing less than what you're trying to uncover. If at any point you feel unsafe, if anything seems wrong, you get out. The mission isn't worth your life.
I understand, but this mission is about saving lives. Amy's, Lindy's, all the victims the council has trafficked. That's worth the risk.
The agents looked at each other with expressions that were part admiration, part concern. Lou Fleming was either incredibly brave or incredibly reckless. Possibly both. The briefing ended with final instructions, emergency protocols, and contingency plans. Lou left the FBI office with her cover identity materials and a weight of responsibility that felt crushing. Tomorrow, she would fly to Montana. In 3 days, she would walk onto a ranch controlled by the same criminal organization that Nathan Price belonged to. She would smile and ask questions and pretend to be a businesswoman, all while gathering intelligence that could bring down the entire council. If she succeeded, hundreds of lives could be saved. Amy could be freed from Nathan. The organization could be dismantled. If she failed, Lou tried not to think about what failure would mean. New York. Apartment. Lou couldn't sleep. She lay in bed staring at the ceiling, thinking about Amy. Wondering if Amy was sleeping, or if she was lying awake, scared like Lou. Wondering if Amy had any idea how many people were working to protect her. How many investigations were converging on Nathan from different directions. Her phone buzzed with a text from Katie. Can't sleep either. Want to talk.
Come over.
Katie arrived 20 minutes later with tea and worried eyes. They sat together on the couch, mother and daughter both scared of what morning would bring. Peter was asleep in the other room. He'd been staying with them in New York, providing support during this difficult time. I wish I could talk you out of this.
You can't. I have to do this.
Promise me you'll be careful. Promise me you won't take unnecessary risks.
I promise. The FBI will be monitoring everything. I'll have backup nearby. At the first sign of real danger, I'll get out.
And if they discover who you really are? If they realize you're Amy's sister, that you've been investigating Nathan?
Then the FBI extraction team will get me out before the council can do anything.
Katie didn't look convinced. And honestly, Blue wasn't entirely convinced either. But she had to believe this would work. Had to believe she could pull off this undercover operation and return safely with information that would help stop Nathan and save Amy. Aunt Amy tried calling Ashley again today, left another message begging for help. Dex says she looks terrified when Nathan's around but is trying to hide it.
She's figured it out, finally. Everything we tried to tell her, she's seeing it now.
Which makes her more dangerous to Nathan. If he realizes she's pulling away, that he suspects him.
That's why we need to move fast. That's why this mission matters. The sooner we gather evidence and make arrests, the sooner Amy is safe.
At least Peter will be here with me while you're gone. I won't be completely alone worrying about you.
I'm glad you have him. You'll need the support.
They talked through the night, neither wanting to sleep, both wanting to hold on to these last hours before Lou left for Montana, before she walked into danger that neither could fully control or predict. The episode ended on Lou's face in the early morning light, sitting by the window with her packed bag beside her and her cover identity materials in her hand. In a few hours, she would board a plane to Montana. In a few days, she would walk onto a ranch controlled by the council, the same organization trafficking humans and holding hundreds of prisoners somewhere in the north. Lou Fleming was about to become Louise Parker, businesswoman and investor. She was about to lie to dangerous criminals, gather intelligence on their operations, and risk her life to protect a sister who didn't even know Lou was fighting for her. Agent Morrison's warning echoed in Lou's mind. The council has killed people for knowing less than what you're trying to uncover. But Lou was going anyway. Because Amy needed her. Because hundreds of victims needed her. Because someone had to have the courage to walk into the darkness and gather the light of truth, no matter how dangerous that darkness might be. And hundreds of miles away in Hudson, Alberta, Amy was trying desperately to reach the friends she'd pushed away, unaware that they were watching over her, even in silence. Unaware that her sister was about to risk everything. Unaware that multiple investigations were closing in on Nathan from all directions. The war against the council and Nathan Price was reaching its critical phase, and Lou Fleming was about to become a soldier on the front lines, whether she was ready or not. That concludes today's episode. Amy kept her distance from Nathan while secretly suspecting him, trying desperately to contact Ashley and Caleb with no success. She thought they were mad at her, not knowing they're keeping watch through Dex. A flashback showed how Dex discovered Ashley and Caleb investigating Nathan. Initially, they thought he might be Nathan's man, but he explained he's working with Katie. They joined forces, and now Dex secretly monitors Amy's safety. In New York, Georgie left for Miami Olympics. Lou and Katie remained together, coordinating with Dex. The FBI informed Lou they found a ranch the council operates under a false name. Lou insisted on going undercover as a businesswoman to investigate. Despite the extreme danger, the council kills people who know too much. Lou is determined to gather intelligence that could save Amy and hundreds of trafficking victims. The episode ended with Lou preparing to fly to Montana, about to walk into enemy territory with only her cover identity and FBI backup to protect her. Join us next time as Lou begins her dangerous undercover mission. If this episode left you anxious, please like and subscribe. Until next time, this is Cowboys and Cattle.